Welcome everybody to Panfish Nation. Along with Mark, I'm live. Mark, I got some questions tonight that I want answered.
If I can answer them, Lyle, I'll be more than happy
Well,
to.
I think we'll open it up to discussion so people can type in chat their opinions and we'll give ours.
Oh, I
But
thought maybe I was in trouble.
oh no,
Okay.
that's Chad.
Oh,
But before we get to that, what do you say we welcome some of the people in chat?
I
Just
would love to get my list run up there. I see Avid Fisherman in the house. What's going on, Avid? How you doing, bud? There's Brian B. Catfishing. How you doing, Brian? Chrissy Brown in the house. Hopefully her and Ernie are doing great. There's Crappie Dave Fish on. I see Creole Catfishing. What's going on, Jeremy? David Smith in the house. There's our buddy from up north, Don R., more of a Yankee than me, which is saying something.
yeah, it is.
Fishing with Squirrel, and I say that with the most love and affection, Don. Don't take that the wrong way. There's D. How you doing? Get hooked on D. Fishing in the house. James Albaugh, there he is. We can always guarantee he's going to try and troll us. Behave yourself tonight, James. Joe Buck 66 as always. What's up, Joe? It's always good to see you in the chat. John Boy's Catfishing. How you doing, bud? KY Redneck Outdoors. The great Maurice Case. And what's up, Maurice? Hopefully you guys are doing good your way. You're still in my prayers, you and your family. There's the great Melissa. How you doing, dear? What's going on? Mr. Kitty Whiskers. What's up? P&B Catfishing, a.k.a. Paul Boyd in the house. There's some Panfish Nation. Oh, that's you, Lyle. What's going on, Lyle? Troy over at Real and Virtual Outdoors. What's going on, Troy? Sorry I didn't get to catch your live stream. I got busy working this week, but I'll try to make sure I stop in and say hello next week. Stonefly71 in the house. There's Tim Donna, the great Tim Molina. What's going on, bud? How you doing, Matt, over at Want to Be Outdoors? I see Annette Morgan just came in. Let's see if there's anybody else I might have missed. I think, oh, there's Fishing with Squirrel. What's up, Squirrel? How you doing, bud? Let's see. Did I miss anybody, Lyle? My list keeps shifting. Look at this. Avid Fisherman with the $25 super chat.
Woohoo! Thank you so much, Avid. We appreciate it a lot.
Very kind of you, Avid. Thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely.
You know, Avid is having a channel cat tournament. He's looking for 2 more anglers. So if you guys want to get in on that, make sure you check out Avid Fisherman's channel.
That is pretty cool that he's doing that, and I hope he fills up his spots. See Dave from Double Hook Angling's in here.
What's up, Dave?
He's been going live a lot since he figured out how to do the go live thing. He got a new phone. I think that helped him a little bit, but you guys haven't checked him out, you need to run over there and check out Double Hooked Angling. Got a lot of great fly tying, jig tying videos out on his channel, and he's a generally good guy. So,
and he was a great guest on the show for sure.
Yes, he was. He was a lot of fun. We think the world of him. Maurice Cason, Stonefly, Mike Irwin.
There's Buck Williams. Sorry, Buck. I also, who else did I see sneak in here?
Did you get Matt from Want to Be Outdoors?
We did get Matt.
The Silver Fox Sandy.
There's Stonefly in the house. What's going on, Stonefly? How you doing?
Joe Buck.
We got Joe Buck. We can't forget Joe Buck. We got Mr. Kitty too.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight, give away a couple of packs of jigs and stuff, and we'll see how that works. Mark, my question is, do you prefer, for panfish, do you prefer bank fishing or boat fishing, and why?
It don't matter to me. You know what? I started fishing for bait after I'm done catfishing on the river. Now, I never did that before until this year. I got the idea from Hogleg. Thank you, Hogleg, if you're watching, with Melissa. And it's proven to be pretty enjoyable. I got a special spot, Lyle, that I actually sent you a picture of that waypoint. I think I'm going to make a video at that spot named after that waypoint, and we'll talk about that later. I tried to get out there today, but the weather wasn't cooperating, and I'm busy all weekend. So hopefully next week we can get that done. But as far as panfish goes, obviously crappie, I like fishing for them in the boat, but I'm really starting to like fishing for bluegill and such out of my boat as well. Bank fishing, if I'm bank fishing for them, it's two reasons. One, because I got skunked on the river one too many times and I need to prove to myself I can still catch a fish. Two, to get bait to take with me out in the boat to go try and catch fish on the river. So that's what we do. And you know, I do still have this fly reel that Dave sent to me from Double Hook Angling. I need to get a rod for that, and I'm not going to try on my boat, so that'll definitely be some bank fishing there. There's Van from V3 Customs. What's up, Van?
What a guy!
And Chad Nolte's.
What a guy! Oh, Van, we're glad you joined us tonight. B&B Catfishing, welcome. Personally, I do not like fishing from the bank because if you go early or stay late, the banks get slick, you fall down, you get hurt, can't get back up. I'm the kind of guy that if I fall down, I can't get up, so I don't want to do any of that. Another thing is when you're in a boat, you're casting to the bank and pulling out. When you're on the bank, you're throwing out in the middle and casting in. Um, I like using slip bobbers. I
I
also
don't.
like jigging jigs tipped with something or without and
Mhm.
catching bluegill. Bluegill is my favorite panfish, and I like them for bait. I like them to eat. The only I do like bullheads a lot, but they're hard for me to come up with a place to get them around here now. Up home where we grew up, I can go to a couple places and get them just in abundances. But down here, they're a little hard to come by, and we don't do that much flathead fishing anymore. But I do like, yeah. Dave says muddy banks and wheelchairs are fun. I'm pretty sure he's right about that. But it would be very difficult for me to do much bank fishing as I get older, and it's harder for me to get around and do stuff uh, more so than it used to be. It's not that I can't do it; I just prefer not to. And with the boat, you just pull up to the dock and you walk over the side and step in the seat, and you're in the floor, and
Mhm.
you fire up and let the big dog eat, and you go where you want to, and you catch what you want to, and you go home and you load up and you're home. So
Well,
hey,
you
good
know,
time TV.
hey, what's going on, Dan? How you doing? I also see Carmel Muncie came in here, and who else did I see sneak in here? Air Run, what's going on, Air Run? How you doing? And Mr. Sampy, can't forget about Mr. Sampy from the great state of Tennessee. What's up, Sampy? You bring up a good point, and it kind of I kind of want to mention this. You know, as we're getting older, and I'm getting older too, you kind of got to modify your behavior if you want to keep fishing.
That's
Um,
right.
if you're not able to do that like 2 mile walk down a bike path like I used to do back in the day, not too much long ago, you got to get into a boat or you got to fish where you can get to. Like Dave needs to he needs the wheelchair access, and we know a lot of people that are coming around into the fishing community that are like that. I just had a new person from England come in that's in a wheelchair that has no hands or half of their arms. They were telling me, and they were used to love to fish before they got into the accent, and they were just getting back into it. And I'd be lying if I said it wasn't if it wasn't of inspiration to me to get out there and fish while I'm still as capable as I am.
Right. You know who's
Also,
getting old?
I'm sorry,
You know who's getting old?
me.
James Dockery.
Oh, what's up, James? He's probably watching.
I'm
But
sure.
it reminded me of my grandfather, and I've told this story a lot. My grandfather was a one-legged sailor. He was a merchant marine. He had he lost his leg in a work accident where one of the leads actually tore his leg physically off of him, and it was when he was a younger man, well before I was born and well before he came over to this country. But he never let that stop him from fishing. And I try to remember that when I wake up in the morning with all my aches and pains and
Yeah.
everything that gets it, whether it's stress or physical pain, you just got to keep doing what you love. My grandfather used to say, my other grandfather used to say, if you quit struggling, you lose the ability to struggle. So I don't know how else to say that. But anyway, sorry on my rant. Back to fishing
Ah,
from the boat or the bank.
well, there's a thing. Mr. Kitty Whisker says he might have a fly rod you can have. What a deal.
I'm not big on accepting gifts. I appreciate it very
Um,
much.
Matt from Want to Be Outdoors wants to know what kind of fish that is behind us, and I looked it up and couldn't, but I can't remember the name of it. So I'm sorry, Matt. You'll have to get the picture
Was it Josh? You said it was a Dace, maybe DACE.
it might have been. I don't remember.
I don't recall.
I believe the image of this originally was sent to me by Roger DeMint, I believe. I have to. That's for some reason that sticks in my mind that he's the one that originally sent that to me. Um, and you're right, Creole. James is out there somewhere. So not sure where. Man, if you click on a thing and then go over to try to find the bottom of the chat, it's rocking and rolling.
They're moving. They're moving.
Yeah.
We're giving them something to talk about. They're all saying hello and stuff. So people talking about their fishes. I think I saw someone said they caught a 3-foot gar. I think that was air run, maybe. To a lead and a monster.
Well, that doesn't really work for me.
The monster works for me. You know what? I never drank Monster up until like a few weeks ago, and I like them white sugar-free ones. Oh my God, Lyle, they'll get you going.
I don't do none of that stuff. I can't, being diabetic, you can't drink that stuff. The sugar rating in those are out of this.
Well, that's why I mentioned I use the sugar-free ones because I'm the same way.
As full as wound as I get, I can't imagine being on any of that stuff. It probably wouldn't take much to set me off. So I better leave it alone.
I saw Cody Robinson came in. What's up, Cody? How you doing? Hopefully you're having a great season. 922 Crappie Barbecue in the house. Carmel Muncie. How you doing, Carmel? You got people coming in here. They're rocking and rolling.
Red belly dance. Nope.
John Euler just showed up. What's up, John?
Hey, John. But yeah, I thought that was a good subject and why people do it. And I don't know what the people do in chat, but they can leave us a message in there of what they prefer, and we can talk about that a little bit and stuff. But I think I think it's safer for me to do. With that being said, I've noticed that in the last couple of years, we don't launch anywhere that doesn't have a dock now.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't used to matter. We get in the boat, back the boat in, and go on. But with Cindy having those knee surgeries, it got hard for her to get in and out without a boat. And now it's hard for me to climb over the side of the boat and get in. One of the things we're going to do to fix that is put steps on the front of our trailer. Then we can back down, walk up the steps, and you're in the boat. And that will help us both a great deal because most all of those have handles now that you can hold on to.
Yep, they sure do.
And I think that is a wonderful thing to have on them because there's some of those places we want to fish. One of the favorite places that we like to fish, they took the dock out and moved it to another launch ramp. And I thought, what's wrong? But that's Corps of Engineers. They're about as bright as a 2-watt light bulb burnt out. I mean, geez.
Or another wheel was squeakier than you guys, and they got the attention.
That's what it was. Somebody with a little more authority wanted a dock, and they didn't want to build one, so they just took one out of a place. They just.
You know what you might want to get to go with those steps is one of those auto locking devices where you
absolutely.
I'm not going to name any brand names. You want to give Lyle Stokes a call if you want to support the show, but I think you can. Maybe you can talk them into sending you one because they ain't cheap, but they're nice. That's on my list for my new boat, definitely.
Mr. Kitty Whiskers, I'm sorry, but I do not like pontoon boats. You have to take too many people with you. Everybody wants to go with you, and when I go fishing, it's serious business to me. I want Cindy in a boat with me, and maybe one other person. But most of the time, it's just her and I. And I don't want a pontoon. I don't want all the. Man, if I had one of them things, we'd be cooking, staying on that thing all night, every night, So I better leave that.
I had a pontoon boat, Lyle, and this is no joke. I was a younger man, still hanging out with my mom and dad and the rest of my cousins and aunts and uncles and everything. And you know what it was? I was just a taxi driver. I hardly ever got to fish because I was always busy running around, taking everybody up and down that Tippecanoe River down to the Indiana beach and doing all of that stuff. By the time I was done, I was either too exhausted and started drinking beer or needed a nap, either way.
Yeah, and like I say, I don't. I don't drink on the water. There's just too many things can go wrong.
I
It's not
agree with you.
not that I wouldn't drink, but I don't do it on the water. Don't do it during the day. Any drinking that I do is at night. I don't bother nobody. I sit at home and do it, and I've got guys like you and Chad to keep me in line. So and Cindy. So, but most of the time I don't do anything out of line.
Can you
But
imagine if Chad drank on his boat, how much gear he'd throw in the water?
a lot.
Oh, there he is. I didn't think he was here yet.
I don't think Chad drinks at all. Don't believe he does. But
And then what is it? Fish and Finds. He's got that really nice Quest pontoon. There's some really nice fishing pontoon boats
there
out.
really is. There really is. I just don't have a use for them. I don't like them going by me when I'm fishing. They let off a big old wake, and when you're trying to fish, it rocks and rolls you. There's just no advantage to having one. I don't even like to be where they're at.
A long distance towing too.
And that's another thing. It's an hour minimum for any place we go. So I'd have to rent a place, and then you're tied down to one spot. And as high as gas is, you couldn't make long runs in a damn thing. So there's this. I just don't want one. Just not for me.
Personal preference.
Yeah, it is. I like a boat with a lot of open ground in it, which they would do that. There is a lot of open space in them, but
Jeff Barker says, I redone a pontoon boat twice. Got it done a couple months ago and sold it the day after I finished it.
there you go.
There's Daryl from Trophy Seekers. What's up, Daryl? How you doing, bud?
But I tell you, I'm pretty sure I can tolerate the pontoon boats a lot more than I can tolerate sea-doos
No
because
comment.
they just live to aggravate people, I believe.
Also, them pontoon boats, they're a pretty big sail out there on the water. They take a lot of voltage to drag baits too.
I have too much of an addiction to buy fishing gear to afford drinking.
Buying or replacing, Chad. Sorry, I couldn't help myself.
I like that, Chad. That's good. That's really good. And good for you. Good for you.
What about dock fishing? I know you guys got some places over there in Missouri, especially on Lake of the Ozarks, where you can pay like $2 to get onto someone's dock. I've seen videos of places where you pay your $5 or $10 and it's heated in the winter, and it's
There is one of those that there used to be. I'm not sure that. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you so much. Um, there used to be one. I assume they still have it right there at Camdenton, where you could walk out there at the big dock. It's square on the inside with two holes in it and a rail around them, and it's sort of heated in the wintertime. The one time I was up there, I went there with my brother-in-law Tom, and we went in there, and it was so crowded that we paid our money, and it was a couple bucks, and we stayed there for an hour and left because there's just so many people in there. And it was cold. I mean, it really was, but it wasn't bad in there. Now, uh, there's a lot of public docks that either the conservation department or the Corps of Engineers put out on Lake Ozark. They're scattered around the lake. There's one at Dalton's Landing, and Cindy and I have been on it. I don't know that we fished on it, maybe once, but I don't know if there's any on Truman or Palm de Terre. There is some on Palm de Terre. We've been to Bolivar Landing has two of them. They're tall enough that Dockery couldn't hit the dock roof on them. These guys down here are smarter than they are up north. They don't make them where Dockery can beat the hell out of the roofs. But um, there's not. They're not in a place where you can catch a lot of fish. I mean, there's just no fish there.
yeah.
So even guys in boats don't fish that area. Eric Massey, I actually talked to him about that, and he's been to the boat ramp, but he don't fish around there.
Mm-hmm.
He said there's just no fish, and we've been over a time or two, and I would tend to agree that there's just not very many fish. So You have to pick your battles, I guess, and choose the ones you want. But the place that you was talking about that charges, they charge you $2 a day. It is full of crappie. They catch them year round off of that dock, and you can't fish from the bank anywhere near that place, not even on the ramp. So you have to launch your boat and fish out of the boat around that, or pay them to let you fish on their docks.
And they got fish cribs down there too, probably holding them fish,
Oh,
which a
probably
lot
so.
a
Yeah.
lot of them pay docks do too. So
Yeah, it's
I
only
mean,
$2 a person, but it's
but
still the thought of having to pay when it's a tax dollars is what funds it to start with is the part
mhm.
that irritates me.
Now there's a place up here in Geneva, Wisconsin, that is a barge. I forget the name of the barge. You'll have to forgive me. If you guys want to know what the name of it is, send it to me. It's on the Mississippi. I think it's even Pool One or whatever. But they'll pick you up in their boat, and it's a handicapped accessible boat. Right, the front gate folds down like those Alaskan boats. You
Hmm.
can get anything up into there, and you get out there. They got a snack shop on that. It's all set up. They got benches for everybody. They got a tackle shop on there. That's not, that's definitely a way to go about it as well. And a lot of people catch a lot of fish off that barge.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
really do.
barges are good places to fish, and they're a big piece of structure.
It's right at the dam. You can see you can hit the dam with like a 5 ounce sinker. I bet from that barge too. So
That's awesome. I love fishing. I like if I'm catfishing, I love fishing barges that's been sitting somewhere a long time because everything in the water is adjusted to it being there. And if you can drift something up underneath of it or cast right to the edge of it, especially if the sun's not hitting the water around it, you're gold.
yeah, the bait fish love the algae that's growing on those old barges and stuff too. I'll bet, right?
That's for sure. Yeah.
The logs and all sorts of structure get caught up underneath it, or it creates a seam. I mean, everything you need is right there.
That's correct. And uh, bait is always there. Um, a lot of times you'll find moon eye there. If the skipjack are in the area, you'll find skipjack around them. Always shad around them. Um, they may be under it where you can't get to them, but usually you can find them, and that's a really good place to get bait. And if there's bait, there's fish not too far around. So it's a good place to catch bluegill if you're looking for bluegill, moon eye, stuff like that around barges and between the barge, especially if it's sunk, and the bank is another great place because it gets a lot of buildup stuff behind it.
Hmm.
I want to thank everybody for the thumbs up. We appreciate you joining us tonight and giving us a thumbs up if you like what we do. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you're so inclined, we have a join button where you can join our group, and we would love to have you. Melissa says going bait fishing tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, good luck to you. I think I might sneak out tomorrow after I got a couple of things to get done in the morning. Try to keep my Fridays free, and then maybe we'll go out and get that bait tank stocked up. We'll see. It's getting those dog days of summer, even though it hasn't been that hot here.
Yeah,
The fish has been pretty hard. Maybe we'll go live tomorrow, Lyle. Maybe we'll see. I
that'd
got a
be
little.
good.
I think I got a little creek I want to hit. We'll see how it is. So.
Damn River Boys, thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate that. My place that I normally have been going to get bait as of late is really low. We've had a rain, uh, but it's soaked in everywhere. We was so dry and went so long that the water levels in the creeks and stuff around here is really, really low. Now, um, I see a trip in our near future uh, going to one of the lakes, and I haven't decided which one yet, and trying to do a couple of things. We want to catch some eating channel cat, and we want to do some bluegill fishing. And I would be in a catching bluegill is my main thing. But if I caught a crappie that was of legal size, that'd be okay too. If
Yeah,
I
would.
caught a walleye, that would be okay too. I'm not a big walleye fan, but I'll eat one if I have to.
I'm a pretty big walleye fan. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, Matt says he's looking into walleye flies. Cool. That'll be good. I have tied up some flies as of late that are actually 1 inch long. I don't know if I can show them to you guys or
Looks
not.
like Don's talking about a sturgeon he caught. Way to go, Don. Awesome. Good job. That's pretty nice.
That's just over 1 inch long, and I got it in two or three
Add a
colors.
little green, it'll be Christmas colors.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah, it
coming
don't matter.
back.
I can do them any color. Did Chad send the address to you late for me to get jigs? I won. Just said yes. They shipped out, John boys. So if you don't get them in a few days, message me, and I'll make sure to send them out to you again. But they was sent sometime last week. Are you seeing something back behind me?
I am. It looks like you're. I don't think it's your camera. I think it could be the software, maybe.
Well, let me go out and come back in. You keep everybody.
Let's see what's going on in chat. So Don's talking about. He says he went fishing for catfish. The last 5 fish he caught were all sturgeon. Unreal. Hey, they're still fun to catch. Double hook angling. Dave wants me to go live tomorrow. I'll tell you what. I'll bring my phone and my tripod, and if they're biting, I will go live.
Didn't do it.
That didn't do it, Lyle.
That's awesome.
Try changing your background.
I can do that. I hate to.
Damn River Boy says going to try for some flathead tomorrow with Susquehanna Stan and Turtle Lady. Your boat. Good luck to you guys. I finally broke my flathead curse. I a bunch of trips overlapping into the spawn, so I don't blame just me on that. But I was happy to see it though. There you go. Looks like it. Well, no, it's going again.
Let me try that again.
Lyle already covered that deal for you, John Boys.
How about that?
I think that's better. Whatever
There
you
we go.
do, work.
I don't know how the adjustment, when you're not in where the adjustment's at, I don't know how it can change. You know?
Yeah, a lot of times endangered species are a bycatch. Just treat them well and get them back in the water.
Absolutely.
We have, what was I don't know if they're still on the list here, but horny head chubs here in Illinois were on the endangered species list or on the protected list.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to catch the living daylights out of them around here. Not so much anymore after a construction project, but that's another issue. But I didn't know they were endangered until I looked them up or I saw something on Facebook somewhere. But just keep an eye on what you're catching and check them out, and usually you'll find out that way.
I want to know who is it that catches chubs and actually dissects them to know which chub they are. If I catch them, they're bait. You know what I mean?
Well, the horny head ones, they got bumps on their head like little.
Again, it's a chub.
Well, they're big. They're big bumps, Lyle. They look like.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Like pellets or BBs under their skin. Crappie Day Fish on with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much. He says, once in a while, everybody deserves a crappie day.
There you go. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
There's Mr. Chili, also known as Fish Flex in the house. Welcome. Laura the Explorer, what's going on? Super congrats on 1K. So very well earned and so very well deserved.
Thank you so much, Laura. Dave, these ones that I'm showing you are ones made. Dave sent me a bunch of stuff here a while back, and these flies and jigs that I've been making recently are ones that I made from the stuff that he sent me because I was almost out of chenille, and I was waiting for one of the suppliers that I buy most of from to get more of it. And Dave was kind enough to send me a bunch of it, and I've been playing around with stuff at night, trying to do new stuff, and I really like the fly fishing into this, and I don't know how many people that watch our show actually fly fish for bluegill and other panfish. But if you do, we had a show here a while back with Matt from Wannabe Outdoors, and we talked about catching panfish on fly rods. If you guys would be interested in another show like that, please let me know because I think we could probably get one of the great panfisher fly fishermen on the show with us because I know Kim Burnett.
This
That's
man
about
right here.
Yeah, that guy right there. He catches a lot of bluegill on flies. So if you're interested in that, I would like to get Kim on here to do a show with us, and we'll talk about that because um, not only does he tie great flies and jigs, he catches some great fish
He's
on a
got a
fly
passion.
rod.
Yeah, he's got a passion for tying them flies and for using them fly rods. So he's probably one of the bigger reasons why I'm my interest is definitely peaked. And I want to make sure I thank Don R for becoming a member. Don, you're awesome. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, we do appreciate it more than most people know.
And
And
when you asked that, and real quick, and when you asked that question about whether or not you like fishing from the bank or the boat earlier, Kim Burnett came to mind because I know that he can probably get on a boat every day of a week, somebody's boat. I'd
he
be
has
more
a
than
boat.
happy to. And he's got one too, but you
Yeah,
always see him out there with his fly rod on that bank. I think he definitely
that's
has
right.
a passion for it.
Oh, Jeff made you eat zucchini. That was a tough deal right there. There's Tom, LG Bass. Yeah, I would love to get Kim on here and we'd have a discussion about that if everybody's wanting to see some fly rod stuff because yes, fly rod fishing in a farm pond is awesome. Um, any local pond that you have, whether it be at your city park or where they're built a subdivision that's got pond, they all got bluegill and stuff in them. And you catch them on fly rods, and places like that are usually well mowed around, easy to walk around. I have a motel here in Buffalo that has a big pond behind it, and it just switched hands, but it's not mowed around it at all. And the former owners wouldn't let anybody fish that. Now, whether the new ones will or not, I need to get with them and see. But I'd have to get the weed eater going and weed eat around it because it's all growed up. It's waist high now, you know.
You know,
So
a lot of the really good ponds around here, they purposely plant those the cattails. I'm not sure if that's the
yeah,
correct name for them around the whole pond, so you can't get anywhere near it.
I don't understand that, but uh,
Well,
I can get out there. I got somewhere. One of my kids has got them, but I've got chest waders and I've got thigh highs waders, and I take a weed eater out there and
me,
whack them.
you know, me and waders, I don't like. I'm not a fan. It's like
I'm
you and
not a
ice.
fan, but I got them.
It's like you and ice fishing. I don't want to mess with that stuff. So,
Yeah, I had them for duck hunting.
oh,
Dave
that
says
makes
he
sense.
loves fly rods, but yeah, I have all that stuff from the duck hunting days, which I don't do anymore, but wished I could. But you got to have a separate boat for fishing from duck hunting. You just do. Uh, I fished out of my duck hunting boat. You have to take everything off of it. My duck hunting boat had seats in it and heaters in it and place on each end of it for a dog to sit, and it was top that folded over. You was completely concealed in it. Uh, you can't have a you can't hardly
We,
fish out of a boat like that.
we got a young guy in our family, and he's a Navy SEAL right now. And he was a sponsored goose hunter, and he tried getting me out there until he told me that we had to wade like halfway through, like a quarter mile to get to the blind. I'm like, no. I go,
Yeah,
don't you have a boat? He's like, not yet. We're working on it. But he was crazy about that goose hunting. He
it's a
gave
lot
me
of fun.
he gave me some goose bratwurst once. It wasn't too bad actually.
You guys, come on, you know what I meant. Um, the the thing about hip waders, that's what they're called. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't remember it at the time. Goose hunting, the decoys are really, really expensive. And I bought a bunch of used when I had like 9 dozen floaters and 4 dozen that you put out on the ground that you stick in the ground.
Uh-huh.
And when I sold all that stuff, I still got some in case I want to train dogs with it. Let me know and we'll do it. I'm always right. I know you are, Kim. I'll contact you tomorrow probably. But I sold 140 dozen duck decoys.
Holy smokes, that's a lot of duck
Many,
decoys.
many boxes of brand new ones that never been taken out of the box. So yeah, I used to duck hunt a
Were
lot.
you one of them duck hunters that had a trailer just for your decoys?
No,
Oh, you see some of them guys out
I
there now.
have. Them
Oh,
were guys
yeah.
that's doing videos and stuff, and I done it back before doing videos of anything was cool, unless you were a TV guy. And in those days, I was watching Babe Winkleman. But yeah, that stuff. It's very addictive, and we was training dogs to fetch ducks, and I do that all summer and hunt all winter. A lot harder to teach the guy you train the dog for to operate the dog than it is to train the dog to do what it's supposed to do. You get the dog down, then you got to train the guy that owns it to know how to do it, because they will screw up a good dog because they don't know what they're doing.
Yep.
It's just the way it is. But that has nothing to do with bank fishing or boat fishing.
Yeah, those decoys ain't cheap because that's exactly why he got that sponsorship. It was from a decoy company. So he
Yeah,
got
one of the things that hurt me in those days, my brother used to work for a really big gun dealer, and he was a wholesaler, and he sold guns to gun shops all over the world. And they sold decoys and stuff. So whenever there was a bargain or a closeout on something, he called me up and he said, "Hey, I got this or that on, how many you want?" And 6 dozen or 8 dozen or 4 dozen, whatever the case may be. Or he'd say, "We only got this many left. Do you want them all?" Um, get me in trouble buying guns too. I'll tell you a quick story about that, and then we'll get back to fishing.
all right.
Cindy and I hadn't been married too long. Had Heather. She was a baby at the time, and we bought a new truck. And this gun place, before he got that big, he used to be open on Saturdays and stuff. We go up there, shoot trap, buy guns, gamble for stuff to eat. He was just a good guy. And we was up there on Sunday. My brother and my brother-in-law at the time, and I went up there and I left. Cindy said, "Don't buy nothing. We don't buy nothing. We can't do this." Okay. So we get up there and I bought 3 guns that day.
Not wise.
And I come home and took one in the house and left 2 behind the seat of the truck. And oh my God, I thought the world come to an end. She was so mad at me. And when I pulled in the driveway, I parked behind her car. And she got my truck and went to the store and found those other 2. So for a little gal, she could really get mad about stuff, but she should have been mad about that. I should have never done it.
She's not mad that you bought them. She's just mad you didn't listen to her.
She's mad I bought them too.
Oh, okay.
But in those days, they wasn't nearly as expensive as they are now. But still, I was probably making $125 a week, and I don't, she was probably making somewhere near that. You just, in those days, you didn't make a whole lot of money when you was a kid. You had to have ability or something to do, because we lived in a farming community. If you didn't farm, or I worked in garages my whole life, so that's kind of the way it was. But yeah, those was fun times for us, and we raced cars and
all that good stuff.
All that good stuff, yeah. But that was a funny story.
Welcome, welcome, Clayton the Fishing Nut. Welcome, Setting Hooks and Crossing Eyes. What's going on, Ryan?
Absolutely. There's Valerie.
Hi, Valerie. How you doing, dear?
We know what
I think I'd like duck hunting. Actually, we're getting to that time of year where I start doing a little trap shooting. I don't do much, but I do go to a couple of turkey shoots, and that's always a good time. Where, if you hit that white clay, you win a turkey.
Yep.
I won 6 of them in my day, so that was pretty. I did, and that was the one year I won 6 of them.
Nice.
I've given them away to everybody.
Yeah. I've done a lot of that trap shoot. That was our thing when we quit racing. I shot registered trap all over. We had a motorhome, and we traveled. I had places rented at everywhere we went. But the fun part was meat shoots like you're talking about, and going to them places on weekends when we wasn't out somewhere. And I usually win enough. They'd handicap me 5 yards. And so I'd win a couple more and they'd handicap me another 5, so I was 10 yards behind the people in front of me, so I'd have to stand way off to the side, so I got bad angles. And usually that would take me out of the thing, but I love doing that.
Mike, it ain't my fault you guys suck. Leave me alone.
That's, well, and I'd go places where they was shooting them pigeon loads, and I was shooting trap loads because that's what I shot all the time. So, but yeah, them was fun times. They really are.
That's another thing I'd like to do. I'd like to go out and do one of them dove shoots. That would be fun.
Again, very addictive. I love doing that. And if I had a place to do that, I would have trained my lab to fetch doves. They hate doves because their feathers are so dry. But they'll do it if you make them do it, and then they'll spit the dry feathers out. Oh, but they'll go back. A good trained dog will fetch every one of them, and they'll find them. But yeah, they don't get a little angry about them, but they want to retrieve. A lab wants to please you so much they'll do anything that you tell them to do if you can tell them where they understand what you're expecting. Yeah, you're right, Matt. It is. It's very addictive. Back to the bluegill.
All right, back to fishing.
You was talking about walleye fishing earlier. You like walleye.
I do.
I am not convinced that you can be a successful walleye fisherman from the bank. If somebody can prove me wrong, please do. Because I don't know.
Fishing.
What's that?
It depends where you're fishing and time of year.
Yeah, because I've never caught one from the bank, ever. Never caught a walleye from the bank. The only time I caught them was when, the only time I've ever caught walleye is when they're when crappie are staging up to go on the nest, and I'm casting in up on sandy or pea gravel banks where they're nesting. And as I go past that, as soon as it drops off, it seems like there'll be walleye, 1 or 2 at each spot we go.
I know one spot without naming it where you can catch them like at a bridge up a little farther north of me. I bet you Ryan probably knows what I'm talking about. There's a marina there. You got to park pretty far. You got to walk, but a certain time of year, you can catch them in the channel right there between a couple of the lakes. There's another spot here where in the dead of winter, because it's the river and it's flowing right below a dam, if you go out there and you yo-yo some blade baits, you can get them then. You know, every now and then you'll see one come out at the dam here. But other than that, what comes to mind, obviously, is Spencer Bauer over at River Certified. He does a lot of walleye fishing from the bank, but
he walks up and down the riverbanks. He does.
Walks up and down the riverbanks quite a bit, and I'm sure he's got, access to a lot of property from his, it's a small farming community. That helps. His notoriety helps, and so on.
And so the fact that he was a school teacher and knows every kid and parent in that area.
True. That is a networking opportunity, most definitely.
It is, yeah. No banks fishing signs now.
Oh, okay. So he does know where I'm talking about.
He does. Thanks for clarifying that, Ryan. Appreciate it, buddy.
I haven't been bank fishing in a long time, except for bait, and bluegill, and my favorite is the red ear sunfish. I really love because they get big at a couple of places here. They're probably the biggest, bluegill family or sunfish family breed that we have out here that I catch. So,
I would sure like to go out east and get on one of them lakes that got them giant red ears. You can call them red ears, you can call them shell crackers, you call them anything you want, but I'm telling you right now, them's good eating.
I can't believe that Lake of the Ozarks and all of those little fingers, that there aren't monsters back there somewhere.
There probably is, but I've not found them yet.
You got plenty of time, bud. Plenty of time.
Yeah, I agree. The time that you're going to have to do that is in the winter. I don't know how the winter affects shellcracker, but right now, up until the time school starts and a month after that, it starts slowing down with the big boats and all the stuff. So,
hey, there's Justin. Sorry we missed you, bud. He says
Justin.
Maumee walleye run, you can slay them from the bank. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. There's
Good
runs
deal.
at certain times of the year, there's spots. It is possible, but you got to time it right, just like a crappie spawn. Like right now, you're not going to catch much crappie from the bank unless you got access to some private docks. You might be able to
Hmm.
get under them, or you got access, or you can cast out to like 15 feet of water, which is where everybody's finding them, 13, 18 feet out here, from what I understand. So,
Yeah. Now, you think the crappie will come back in shallow again this year?
oh yeah, they'll come back
That's what
in
I
the
think
cold,
too.
when it gets a little colder. They'll come back in.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And that's when I want to be out there as many days as I can and slaying them, because the colder it gets, the less people go out and go after them. Of course, that's not as true with a whole bunch of people that was off work the last couple of years, but a lot of people went back to work, and gas is still really expensive for boats because, let's face it, boats use a lot of gas.
They do.
Uh, and But yeah, if you can find a place that you can go and catch a limit, and the only reason I'm going to clarify that, I'm not a big proponent of taking a lot of fish out every time you go out. Crappie, bluegill are so prolific breeders, and they only have a short lifespan. Not like a catfish. It takes a catfish 30 years to be gigantic. Not all of them, but a high percentage of them. But these guys, they get to their full life size in a couple of years. And at 4 to 6 years, a lot of them are dying. So you
And
can take them, you can harvest some of them. You don't have to take every big fish you got. In fact, I believe the medium sized ones, not the small ones, those are bait fish, and not all the giants. You can keep a few of those, but the medium sized ones, the 10, 12 inch fish in crappie length, I think would be the better fish to take out. Now, what do you think about that?
I definitely agree with that. You can still do damage if you got a number of anglers that are pounding a spot pretty hard. Depending on the size of the body of water, it's always good to harvest responsibly, but you're you're less likely to do as much damage to a fish like a crappie that's gonna have a lifespan of 8 years, rather than a catfish that's been around. Even buffalo up north in Minnesota, something that gets to be like 20, 30 pounds, that fish has been alive for like 80 years, I remember reading.
Yeah,
you know you,
buffalo slow grower.
yeah, you're going to take one of them out, and it's not replaceable for 80 years. You know what I
That's
mean?
exactly right. And um, now, in my case, and I've told this before, but I'm not sure I've told it on this show, Lake of the Ozarks, Truman, and all the tributaries have a under, a slot limit, and an over. And they're trying to get bigger fish in the over category, so you're only allowed two of those per day per person. I would have liked to have seen it one, but again, they don't always listen to what I have to say. A lot of times they ask, but no comprende. Uh,
Mhm.
the slot limit is a great thing. I would like to see them put that on the rivers, but as of yet, they haven't listened about that. Now, the underfish, the 0 to, I believe it's 26 inch. I'd have to, I think that's right. They opened the limit. It used to be 5 for blue cats and made it 10 because it's so overpopulated with those small fish. They want you to come catch them and take them out. Um, they didn't go to the links of saying, okay, by any means, or you can shock them, or you can do this, or you can do
Right.
that. Catch them. You're allowed 10 under fish. A lot of people won't catch 10 fish a day. But if you do, you can have those, and they're happy for you to take them because you're taking them out of there because there's so many in there. So I have slacked up on my feelings because I think one of the best ways to start kids in fishing is with jugs, noodles, fishing noodles,
Hmm.
like jugs. They're fast action usually. The kids can chase down the noodles. You know, you can chase them down. They can grab them. They can miss them. They go back and get them. They can pull the fish in. Normally, you're catching undersized fish. Now, you can catch them in this slot limit. You just teach them that they have to throw those back.
Hmm.
And you can catch overs there, but you're not as likely to do that as you are underfish. You can use any kind of bait you want, from spam and chicken to worms, cut bait, live bait, doesn't matter. You just find out where the fish are at and toss them out. And if the fish don't bite, every kid's got a phone, so they got a toy to play with, and you keep their attention on learning what to do. Now, that progresses into rod and reel fishing, and they have to decide if they want to bass fish or panfish or catch catfish or swordfish or whatever it is. But you got to get them interested in it somehow, and it has to be something fast action. Pan fishing with worms and a bobber is probably the best, but they like jug fishing, and I think
jug fishing is probably just like bobber fishing as far as it goes with the kids. You got that visual signal of there being life on the other end of that line, and I think that definitely helps kids get into the sport a little more. So,
and I would like to now. The thing about that is, if you're jug fishing for catfish, and I know we're not supposed to be talking about that here, but if you are, you have to instill the fact that you throw the big ones back. You don't take all the big ones. It's a great way to teach kids how to do it. Now, if they figure out a way to do that and catch bluegill and crappie that's legal, that'd be even better. But as of now, I know they make yo-yos, but they're not legal everywhere.
I don't know how the legalities go with them. And those yo-yo rigs, I always thought they were more for like a survival bushcrafting situation. So,
yeah, that's one of my favorite kind too, David.
Yeah, if they got meatballs, even better.
That's right. Hell, ground meat will work for me.
As far as jug fishing goes, that isn't something that I've ever tried, but I always had a curiosity. I'm thinking that would be good, but it definitely would be just out of a to meet my curiosity rather than to get a cooler full of fish. But
yeah, it's fun. It really is. I used to have a Mac tool guy. He had young kids at the time, and he would take the Boy Scout groups out. He had a pontoon boat, and he'd take a whole bunch of them kids out, and that's what they do all day. They use hot dogs for bait, and it was cheap bait, and they caught a lot of fish on them. There was never any of these. He said never catch any of any size, but they caught a lot of them, and they didn't want to clean them because he made them clean them if they wanted to keep them and eat them. And about one time of cleaning them when you're 8, 9, 10 years old, pretty much, he said that pretty much took it out of them. They didn't want to do it anymore. So you released them all, usually. But he said every once in a while they decide they want to have a cookout when they got done, and they'd clean the fish, and he made them help do it. And they'd have a fish fry at the end of the day. And whatever was left over, they'd send home with the kids. He's a great guy, done a wonderful thing with those guys. So, it is a great way to get people into fishing. Yo-yos are big on reel foot. Yeah, I know in some places they're real popular, but they're not legal everywhere. I'm not sure they're legal in Missouri, but they may be. I'd have to check on that. James Dockery would know, but of course he won't type in chat, but I know he's watching.
Be kind of hard to chase a bunch of bobbers floating around that got jigs on the bottom of them. So I don't think
that's so true.
At least with my vision, it would be. That's for sure.
Shrimp is good bait, David. We Cindy's used that before when we was in tournaments and we needed 5 fish real quick.
When I go perch fishing on Navy Pier, I bring the cooked shrimp and a jar of cocktail sauce because you don't go through all that shrimp, Lyle.
I love shrimp. Something happened to my all-you-can-eat shrimp restaurant. I'm just heartbroken. It's just not as good as it used to be. So I haven't been in a while, but I'm thinking Friday night. I might be ready for it.
You know what the lockdowns did? They closed the one place here that used to have all you could eat crab legs. It broke my heart. I
like to have some of that.
I looked today to see if they were back, and it still isn't back. I was disappointed.
That's too bad. I can't imagine because these restaurants and stuff that do that, their prices have to go up because everything's costing more and more all the time. And those prices, they're never going to go back down, folks. They're not. And as soon as this election's over, in November, the price of gas is going to skyrocket. I'm just telling you.
John Armstrong, welcome. I think that's a new name, isn't it, Lyle?
It is new to me. We're glad to have you in chat tonight. Be sure to check out the things and give us a thumbs up and a subscription if you like what we're doing. And if you really like what we're doing, you can. There's a join button where you can join the group down at the bottom underneath our image. You know, Mark, we got a couple of giveaways tonight. What do you say we load it up?
We do. I have it ready to go. Let me just share the screen over. I made this one probably the most difficult hashtag of them all, Lyle.
Okay.
I think you're going to agree. There you go. If you want to get in on the giveaway, you got to enter in hashtag giveaway.
We have a package of ZFG jigs and some hand ties for me that we're going to throw in there tonight.
Sounds good. And we're gonna do like we do weekly for these giveaways. Get entered in once. It won't count you more than once. Once you enter in that giveaway, you'll be entered for both giveaways that we're doing tonight. So make sure you get in there. Just say hashtag giveaway in the chat, and you'll be entered automatically to win. Mr. Kitty Whiskers, what's going on? I saw Dead Sea Pirates Fishing. I like that name. What's going on? Valerie, Mike Urban, there's Steve Locke, 760. Chad Nolte, I said hello earlier. Hello again. Ricky, Solo Text Adventures, getting in. Maurice getting in. Maurice has won a couple of these, if I'm not mistaken. There's Lance.
He has.
And there's QC Fishing. What's up, QC? How you doing?
Dave said him and Naomi's thing used to be Friday night all-you-can-eat buffets. I've taken Josh, the weekend angler, and his wife Christine and 2 children over to this place, and some other people that has been through. There's Blue Line Adventures. Welcome.
What's up, Blue Line? What's up, Catmandu Outdoors? How are you?
And it's an old truck stop that's really not a truck stop anymore. It's just a family-style restaurant, and they have pretty good food. It's not fancy. It's just a good place to eat. But they lost the waitress that they had. Had been there a long time. Young girl who was really nice and polite. And their service is, I'm hoping when we go there next time it'll be better. Let me leave it at that, because I like all you can eat shrimp.
You might have caught somebody on a busy night or a bad day.
That's some of the other people that we used to eat dinner with up there, they don't go no more either.
I think there's another new name, AJH. How you doing? Thanks for checking out the show.
Absolutely.
Brian B. Catfishing in the house. He wants to get on some of them jigs.
Brian B.
I know how Brian B. would have answered that bank or boat question, because he is not a friend of the banks, that's for sure.
No, but he fishes them.
He does.
He will fish them.
He will fish them.
Yeah.
Has is always giving him a hard time about it, though.
Has? Really?
Oh, all the time.
Good. That makes for interesting content. Can you imagine those two? Have those two ever actually fished together? Just them? Just them two?
I've seen them a couple of times in the boat, and
I must have missed that, because I'm thinking that'd be pretty entertaining.
It is pretty interesting. I think they entertain each other more than anybody else, to be honest with you, when they're out there in the boat.
That's probably true.
I think Brian's even agreeing with me there. They have a good old time when they're out there.
Well, we can't all watch all of the shows and all of the live events and different things like we used to be. It used to be just a handful of people doing them. And now there's so many that you can't see them all. And so I evidently have missed the one with them two, or forgot about it. I may have watched them and forgot about it.
It's been a little while ago, but
yeah. But yeah,
please
I don't
get that thumbs up, people. We appreciate it if you do before you leave.
Absolutely.
Trying to think what else we got going on coming up here. Hey, there's Mr. Parker, real-time catfishing in the house. What's up, John? How you doing, bud?
John? There is one thing that I will tell people right now, that any time that we have 100 thumbs up or more a night, we'll throw in an extra pack of jigs to give away.
Awesome.
It's like Thelma and Louise.
I saw that.
That's pretty good. It's awesome to see John Parker in here. I hope you're doing well, my friend.
I want to see John Parker win something here. He's always giving stuff away on his channel.
He is a great guy and does a lot of cool things for a lot of people. We're real proud of John.
So what do you say? It looks like they stopped entering here. You think we can get one going here?
Absolutely. We'll give away the ZFG jigs first.
All right, here we go. Let her rip. Let's see who goes. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't get entered. Valerie Irwin, what's going on, Valerie? Congratulations. I'm pretty sure Valerie knows how to get in touch with you through Facebook.
I think she probably does.
Or you can definitely email or Facebook. And Lyle, your email is catfishweeklytv@gmail.com, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
Good. I'm remembering this stuff. I'm not as old as I think I am.
I'm not going to get into that. Be telling my age before you know it.
There she goes. She heard. Woo, woo.
Okay, Matt.
All right, if you haven't get in, we'll give you a couple minutes for the second one. This is for some Panfish Nation jigs from Lyle, some hand ties.
Actually glad Valerie won. I don't remember her winning. She may have won something before, but Valerie is a very valuable member to our show because she doesn't not only watch Panfish Nation, she watches Catfish Weekly and Catfish and Crappie and Fields to Water. She watches a lot of shows and participates in chat in all of them. And that's somebody that you want to make sure wins once in a while if you can, because she's just we're really happy to have her as a part of our stuff. Kim Burnett.
He says, I'll be 55 tomorrow. Happy birthday, my friend. Congratulations.
Absolutely. I'll be 55.
And there's Eric B, too. What's up,
Hey, Eric?
What you doing?
Net Morgan. Yeah, it's I'll be 55 on my birthday rolls around.
All right, Lyle, you ready to do the second one?
I am ready.
All right, here we go. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Come on.
Dead Sea Pirates.
Dead Sea Pirates. Congratulations. Dead Sea Pirates. If you're not on Facebook and you can't contact Lyle through the Panfish Nation page, you can contact him through email. catfishweeklytv, all one word, @gmail.com, and he'll get those shipped out to you.
Absolutely. And Messenger, Facebook, Panfish Nation, or my personal one, either one. Any of that stuff will work. 20 years ago. Not quite, but close.
Congratulations, Dead Sea Pirates Fishing.
Absolutely. I was going to say something about Chad, and I forgot what it was now.
It probably would have gotten you in trouble with him anyway, so.
And maybe.
It's half the fun of it.
That's correct. But yeah, I had something that I wanted to say about Chad, and I forgot what it was. Dang, that's too
Chad,
bad.
well, you know what? Chad's Sunday morning, they're doing that the Ohio the bait shop versus the River Warrior. He calls them. I'm trying to give them what their actual names are. I'm trying to be nice here, Lyle. It's the bait shop versus the River Warrior Sunday morning, and then I will be hosting with Brian B. Saturday evening at what time? 5 p.m. Central Standard Time till midnight. 7 hours of fishing, fantasticness. It's going to be the Mississippi River Rats versus Hog Legs crew. I'm looking forward to seeing that Saturday night. So those we got to look forward to this weekend. Trying to think what else. Jay Fox Hunter, I think you were behind on the streams. Sorry, bud. He's just getting entered now.
One of the things you guys have to think about when we do these, and not just us, but any of them, and it pertains to the speed of your internet, where it says live down at the bottom. If that's not red, you're behind. If that red dot's not there, you need to hit that live button, and it cycles your feed and will keep you up to date where you're closer to get in giveaways and different things. Because if that red dot's there, you might be 15, 20 minutes behind in a live feed.
Happens all the time.
It does. People just don't know. Abbott, I want to thank you again for your donation tonight. It's much appreciated, and everyone else that donated, we appreciate that. Uh, I have coffee chat at 7 a.m. Central Standard. Awesome! I didn't know that, Don. I have to check you out. I'm not getting notification on it. That might be part of the reason why I didn't know it. You know, be sure to tune in Monday night for Catfish Weekly, and followed by Mark's Catfish and Crappie podcast show. You want to make sure you tune in for that on Monday nights. Of course, we're going to be back next Thursday night right after the bait shop. And no telling what we're going to be talking about then unless Mark's got an idea now.
We'll figure something out. We always
We
do.
will figure something out.
And just so you guys can't say this is the one show I didn't say bacon, I'm saying bacon.
Oh, man. Jay Foxhunter made it. We're glad to see you in here. I'll be sending out links half hour early. Awesome. Not, it must be his show coming up.
And probably for the Channel Cat tournament.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. I would have got in that tournament, but I don't have any good channel cat water around here where I fish. It's mostly blue cats. And,
even the channel cat fishing has been rough over here, Lyle. I ain't even going to joke. We're not going to get into that.
I know you've been struggling.
I just sound like a complainer, but I'm not doing that anymore.
If I was having that much trouble, I think I'd be catching crappie to eat. But that's just me. I like crappie.
Hey, Scott Pace, I think that's a new name too. He says, how's everyone doing? Tonight he's from Alabama.
Nice. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. You almost missed it, but we'll be back next Thursday night at 7 Central, so you can jump in here with us, join in on the chat, and have a good time. We'll be having some giveaways, and we might be talking some BS. You never know. There'll be some spread around in the chat department, I promise you.
I was going to say it's a pretty safe bet that we will be, Lyle.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're right. You got anything else to close out with, Mark?
Nope, I'm good. I am good.
I am too. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight, and be sure to tune in next Thursday night at 7 Central, and we'll go at it again.